Alright, hello! My name is James and welcome to my mini lesson. So today I'm going to teach you a little mini lesson on composite functions. So, evaluating composite functions. Composite functions, as the name suggests, are composed of two or more functions. Just like composite materials are composed of two or more materials, composite functions, two or more functions. So here we have an example with two functions. Our first function here is f of x, but then our second function is g of x, and we write that like this right here, where the g of x becomes the input into the f of x. So normally we're used to seeing x just going into f of x here. Well, now we have a whole function as our input, a whole function, g of x. And another way of writing that here is f of g. So again, as before, g is the input, goes into f, and we have a little open dot to notate that input there, the open dot here. Not to be confused with g times x, a closed dot. It's different. So it's not that, it's not a closed dot, we have an open dot here. And I think the best way to go about this is to give you an example. So let's say we have f of x is equal to 2 times x, and g of x is equal to x plus 2. If we wanted to calculate the composite function f of g of 1, the first step would be to find out what g of 1 is. So we find out what our input is. We can't find out what a function is until we know what we're inputting into the function, so we need to evaluate this input here, g of 1. We know g of x is x plus 2, so 1 plus 2 gives us 3. And this 3 right here is now our input into our second function here. So now we put this 3 into our f of x, and we know f of x is 2x. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And that is the solution. 6 is the solution to f of g of 1. So I have a couple graphs here for you visual learners. Here we have g of x. So our input here is 1, and when we find that on our line here, here's our 1, and that corresponds to 3 right there. Corresponds over to 3, and that's now our input. We drag it all the way down, that's going to go into our second function. And then if we look at our second function here, and we evaluate the 3, we look over, that gives us 6 right here. So 6 is our output, that's our answer, and that is the same thing that we got right here when we calculated it using our mathematical formulas. So I hope you enjoyed this mini lesson, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to working with you all. Thank you very much.